Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast, where two lifelong horror fans talk all things horror. Pour yourself your favorite drink and hang out. Here are your hosts, Josh and Jake.
Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's exciting episode, what are we going to be discussing?
We are covering 1983's Sleepaway Camp, directed by Robert Hiltzik.
You won't be coming home.
Yeah.
Is the tagline from this one. This is another in our very many classic 80s slashers, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm excited for that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being excited about this as well. Before we get into this episode, what would we like to let anyone new to our podcast know?
As always, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes, pretty please.
You can also find us on Spotify.
We're on there.
We're on Apple,
Mm-hmm.
as well as Google.
We're there.
Also find us on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
J Squared Horror Podcast. Link tree in the bio. New episodes every Thursday.
Every single Thursday, two lifelong horror fans decide to get together and talk all things horror. With this podcast, we would like to open up lines of communication amongst everyone, whether you like horror, whether you don't, whether you just kind of watch the main ones, whether you know all these 80s slashers. We like to insert ourselves. We would like our fans to insert themselves into certain situations and let us know what they think. I think it's a lot of fun. I think we are the most original horror podcast out there. We also bring in our own life stories. You never know what you're going to get per episode.
You don't.
So it is exciting. We have a lot of fun doing it. What I'd also like to mention with the link tree on our Instagram are two other links. On there you can find www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com. With that, you can easily communicate or try to set up an episode with us. It is the easiest way if you're a producer, if you're a director, if you just have an idea, anything like that. If you are an author, anything, let us know. Hit us up, www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com. What you can also find on either the website or our link tree is Paranormality Magazine. Paranormality Magazine is an up-and-coming magazine that is about all things strange, unusual, and paranormal. They are a super amazing magazine company that has been super great to us. If you use code J2Horror at checkout, you will receive 10% off of any purchase through their website. You can get subscriptions. You can get single issues. You can get t-shirts. You can do anything like that. Right now, they're running a special on online digital. If you just do it this month,
Do it.
you get a digital year for like $10. And also, if you use the code, it's going to be less than $10 because they're running that promotion without the 10% that you would get with our code. J2Horror at checkout. What you can also do on paranormalitymagazine.com is you can vote for us to be the #1 podcast through their magazine and their website.
#1.
That would be amazing for us just for reach alone. It goes to a lot of people that we might not get to see. So if our fans go on there and vote, the highest we've gotten so far is 8, I do believe. But we would like to be a lot higher than that, so people will be like, "Oh, who are these J Squared Horror Podcasts?"
We're a
guys?
top 5 podcast.
We're a top 5 podcast, I do believe. So with that, that's everything I wanted to cover with that. So let's get into Sleepaway Camp. It definitely is. I think I've said this a couple times. If you've stuck around for the podcast for a while, if you're new to the podcast, you might be hearing it for the first time, but it is just fucking quintessential 80s horror. It's just slasher. It's just, it would not be welcomed with open arms anymore. There are a plethora of trigger warnings for anybody out there that's sensitive to things. Just be warned about bullying and some other things that happen in this movie. But it's exactly what you expect it to be, honestly.
It's a good time.
It's fine.
It's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster of emotes. That's for sure. I was thinking while I was watching this, I was like, all right, so like everybody's like, oh, online bullying, like, yeah, it's sad, it's meant, dude. I gotta say, I didn't experience 80s bullying. That shit seemed brutal.
Rough.
rough.
A dude pulled a knife on someone else.
Like straight up over a shaving cream like joke that we've all seen.
Yeah.
So it's just like, dude, this movie is intense. And it starts off, I think this one starts off with the boating incident, correct?
Correct.
Where there's a family in the water. There are some teenagers on a lake. They're not paying attention. And the boat mows down a family. That's not funny, but like it's funny because it's a movie.
It mows down a family with one lone survivor.
One lone survivor, which is going to come into play for sure.
Yeah.
Later on in this movie. There's an Aunt Martha.
Don't know what her name is, but she
Martha.
is fucking nuts.
Weird.
It's like they told the lady playing her, just be as weird as you can be.
Absolutely. For
She's-
no reason.
She's so over the top, and every time she tells them she does something, she's like, "That was so nice of me, wasn't it?"
Yeah. Like she
yeah, I guess.
over explains
Yeah.
her reasoning for like what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's like, I packed you guys a lunch. That was really nice of me, wasn't it? I signed your guys' permission slip to go to camp. Camp what?
Arawak?
Arawak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that nice of me? I'm like, all right.
I mean,
and
you
then
did
like
what you're supposed to do.
the intense eye contact she was
Yeah.
having like the entire time with these little kids, and it's her son and the cousin.
I love when she would just talk and
She's
just
the aunt.
stop.
Yeah.
Just hold her hands up like
Yeah.
something happened that's going to change the world.
I don't know if she was a good actress or so bad that it just worked.
I think she was just so bad at work.
And like, not to hate, I'm not an actor. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
I hate
it's
to criticize
definitely an early
acting.
80s horror actress. You're not expecting Brad Pitt or Jennifer Lawrence in these movies. It is crazy though, because I didn't watch the trailer. Maybe I should start watching trailers too, because then you can kind of see like what people anticipated with it. I had never seen this before.
Uh-huh.
I know you've probably seen it a couple more times than I. I didn't spend too much time in my youth on 80s slashers.
You should watch the trailer. It's always good watching these older movies trailers.
I need to. I
Yeah.
think that would add a bit of fun to the podcast because it adds like, oh, these are what the people were expecting and this is what they got. Whereas I just watched it and was like, oof. All right,
This is what I got.
This is what was presented to me. It's definitely it's your average camp. You know, it's obviously when this movie came out 83, so there's already been camp slashers that were done crazily good.
I love a good 80s camp slasher.
You're a big camp. Is there a reason? Is it just because of Friday the 13th?
Probably
Or
not.
is it?
I've never been to camp in my life.
I've never been to an actual camp.
I think I always wanted to.
You know,
and
deep
just
down, maybe
the-
both of us do.
We do. I think
Damn.
the setting of just, excuse me,
Yeah.
just being outside
yeah.
all the time,
Amongst your peers,
hanging out,
you know,
having a good time.
becoming young
Let's see,
adults.
a teenager got like the Judy chick running around. Yeah,
Dude.
good time. She looked like she was 35 years old though.
Yeah. There's some interesting casting calls made. in
Yeah, I know
these
that's the thing
movies.
you always bring up, these 80s
We always
movies.
bring it up where it's like there's kids that are adults.
But she looked like she was in her mid or like legit.
Yeah.
Looked old as shit.
Also, the amount of
She has a lot of hair too.
a lot of hair, and also the lack of clothing that the men were wearing in this movie was just at an all-time high.
Those shorts?
Dude, they're like 3.5, 4-inch inseams. Like they were
at most.
like the one of the camp counselor, the really buff dude.
Yeah.
You just see his dick.
He
Like,
had
it's
when he
just
had
with
those
the red,
yeah,
the red shorts. I was like, yo, like he might as well be naked.
Yeah, that dude
Like it's just,
dick is out.
It's just there, and he's like in charge of all these kids. I'm like, dude, he's got this bro tank. He's just he's buff as shit. Like he's a good looking, like as far as like in shape, but
Yeah.
then you're just like, there's a dick.
And he's
It's
wearing
like,
a medium tank top.
medium tank top with extra small lady shorts.
Yeah.
Like it's not even
the little
just
slit on
the
the
little
side.
slit on the side. Dude, I'm happy you noticed that too, because I was gonna
did.
feel very uncomfortable if I'm the only one mentioning
It's
that
hard to not notice.
on this. But yeah, you get the whole, and then there's like, so you get. I think it builds up the dynamic of who's shitty, who's decent,
Yeah.
and who's who pretty quickly out the gate. So like I had mentioned already, there's a lot of this like 80s bullying going on throughout the entire movie, which you're gonna expect. if you're sensitive to that, like, then be warned, I guess. But like, it's kind of tricky, because I honestly feel like that's how it was back then. I don't think it was over dramatized.
I wasn't around in the 80s.
I wasn't,
but it's too common in all
of
the
these movies
for it to be just made up.
Yeah. So you definitely have like the coming of age, but then you have the two main characters.
The literal coming of age.
And then like what's crazy is like, so me and Jake were talking about this before, and I'm going to try to be as proper as possible. But there's an extremely creepy head cook guy.
15 minutes into it.
15 minutes into this, I see my voice just cracked because of how uncomfortable this made me. Dude, he is watching this group of kids run into a camp, and he's like saying some very uncomfortable, vulgar shit.
Well, like boiled chickens or something?
Yeah. I mean, you said it. I'm just here for the content. It was crazy because I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like the fact that Rush Hour needs, I've mentioned this before, Rush Hour needs a warning at the beginning of these their movies now, because of like the racial connotations between like the characters and how like it was back in the 90s. But like this came out in 83. I didn't have a single warning about just creepiness.
You know what you're getting into.
And I mean, granted, that guy gets what's coming to him very soon thereafter, which is cool.
Like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, barely. Yeah, it's pretty quick because you get that the main little boy character takes his cousin, who's a female, to her cabin, and then you start to see some of the bullying. He realizes the girl he likes doesn't like him anymore. So it is painting the whole camp dynamic of like who's gonna be who. And then they go to eat, and the girl's not eating, and they're like, "Yo, you need to eat. How about I take you back to the cook, and he's gonna like show you?" And I was like, "Whoa, you might not want to do that because he's kind of creepy." Yeah, and then the dude that's like running the camp is also kind of weird.
The guy with the cigars?
Yeah,
older guy. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
He was.
He just doesn't want to lose his money.
He wants his money. And speaking of the chef, so the other chef, the black chef, Ben.
Yeah.
I was wondering why his voice sounded so.
It did sound very familiar.
You know who he is? Mm-mm. He is James Earl Jones's father.
What?
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
The voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's his dad?
Mufasa. Yeah, that's his dad, yeah.
Get the fuck. You know, I thought that because, like, if you watch The Sandlot, James Earl Jones' character looks very kind of similar.
Yeah.
Because it's his fucking dad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's his dad, yeah.
Holy shit. His voice did sound familiar, and he looks like a Jones.
Yeah.
Jones.
A younger.
But older.
Older version of him, yeah. Well, for us now, a younger version.
It is, yeah. That's weird that the dad is a younger version of James Earl Jones we know. That's crazy. Yeah. How'd you find that out? Did you look it up? Or are you like, who does this guy remind me of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I Googled James Earl Jones' dad. I think that's got to be his dad.
You looked up. You figured it out without.
Yeah, I was like, that voice sounds true for me. That's got to be his dad. So I looked it up, and his dad.
So you didn't just like IMDb it and then start clicking?
No.
You looked up James Earl Jones' dad?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I just put in Sleepaway Camp to see if it would connect. And it did.
That's pretty.
And it showed that scene of them in the kitchen. I was like, it's got to be him.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because I thought, that dude sounds like Mufasa. He does.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah, and Lion King, such a good movie. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, sure, let's go ahead and talk about Disney for a little bit.
As a kid. Oh, since you insist.
Yeah,
so there's certain scenes of that movie.
It's it's a little more comfortable than this one.
There are movies, real quick, that are ingrained, like
I'm looking something up
in your mind. Mm-hmm. For me, it's two movies:
Toy Story,
Lion King, and Jurassic Park.
That's lame.
How is that lame?
Because Lion King is decent, but fucking
Jurassic Park is the greatest movie of all time.
It's not.
It really is. Though.
It really isn't.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not actually.
I've seen Jurassic Park maybe like 1,000 times. Maybe that's not even like an exaggeration.
Doesn't mean it's perfect,
but it is though. The effects hold up. The acting, great. Mm-hmm. Come on now,
dude. I'm just saying that it's It's a good movie.
Okay.
I'll give you that it's a good movie. But I can't say that it's...
But that's like, it reminds me of my childhood. I know as a kid, I remember my dad telling me this not too long ago that I would watch this shit out of Jurassic Park all the time, just for no reason. I'm always watching it.
You're always watching Jurassic... When's the last time you watched Jurassic Park?
Last week.
Jesus Christ,
I know.
dude.
I love that movie.
What is wrong with you?
It's a good movie.
No, it's a fine movie, but it's not something that like you need to watch all the time.
Yeah, it is. I reference Jurassic Park all the time, too.
There it is. I found it. All right.
What?
So on, I'm gonna let you continue with your Jurassic Park bullshit because if you guys go back to this amazing episode that we covered on the J Squared Horror Podcast here,
I'm not saying it's a horror
about Jaws.
movie. I'm just saying it's a good movie, and I would reference it. So, when my daughter Jayla was younger, I would always say to, if she was to pick up something, I'd ask her if it was heavy or not, and if she said yes, I say that means it's expensive. Put it back from Jurassic Park. And I think now she still doesn't get that reference, but
I don't get that reference.
all right.
What part of Jurassic Park is that from?
I'm glad you asked. So it's the scene where, so right before the T-Rex comes out of the gate,
Yeah.
when they're sitting in the, I think it's a Ford Explorer, when they're sitting there, it's the lawyer, the boy Tim, and his sister. They're sitting there. He has the goggles. He puts them on. The guy asks him, "Where'd you get them from?" "I found them in the back." He asked him, "Are they expensive?" "Yeah." That means, are they heavy? "Yes." That means they're expensive. Put them back.
Nice. Thank you for that. If you guys want, we're starting the J Squared Horror Jurassic. We're starting the J Squared Jurassic podcast in like a month.
That would be a daily podcast.
So you guys just prepare yourselves. We're only going to talk about the first one
That's all you need.
over and over and over again.
Yeah, Lost World, not that good. Anything post that, don't fuck with. But that first one, ooh, classic. All right, go ahead.
I'm happy we got that out of the way. I'm happy that you had that moment with our fans and yourself. I think you guys could all grow a lot closer now. This movie, I don't even know how we got to that point. I can't remember the connection.
Yeah, I'll remind you. So, we mentioned James Earl Jones' dad.
Oh, James Earl Jones' dad. Lion King.
So early 90s
Disney.
movies. Early 90s. Jurassic Park.
We went Disney. We didn't even go early 90s. I went Disney, and then you started talking about Jurassic Park.
I never mentioned the word Disney.
I did.
Didn't hear it.
You did. I
Did
can
I?
confirm it on the shit.
No, I don't believe that.
Whatever.
But go ahead.
All right.
We're getting sidetracked.
We are an angry married couple right now that just doesn't want the other one to say anything.
Yeah. You never listen to me.
You just shut up. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care about what you like. That's not the point. That's being the host of the podcast. You're unanimously hated. It is what it is, man. All right. So there's this crazy. I want to know. Hey, we're not there yet, but just remember this for later. Okay. In the IMDb, right?
Okay.
There's a line written by Drew. I don't know who Drew is.
Okay.
But he says, the disclosure of the murderer's identity is one of the most shocking climaxes in the history of American cinema.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Which I believe.
That's true?
I feel like it.
We'll get there. I'm happy that you feel that way because it'll give us some shit at the end of the episode,
Yeah.
towards the end of the episode. But
Okay.
remember that line.
I will.
All right, because I can think of like 10,000 others. But yeah, so back to where we were. Jurassic Park. No, shit. Sleepaway Camp, 1983. Excuse me. Here's those cocktails in a can that got us. So yeah, you have the bullying and the sister, the cousin. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, creepy cook guy. All right, there we go. That's where I was at. They take her back to, man, we just went around.
We're 20 minutes into it.
They bring her back because they're like, hey, can you make her some like ice cream sundae or something? She's not eating anything. Everybody knows she's kind of weird. I think some people know what happened to her family or not. So she's the survivor.
It took her an hour to talk.
That's fine. like, you don't have to talk. I don't know why people are being so mean to somebody that's quiet. Like, if you talk too much, you get in trouble. But if you're quiet, you also get in trouble.
If someone asks you a question,
just sit there and stare at them.
And you just stared at them like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
So, yeah, I mean, I get that to an extent. But at the same time, it's like, let her just be herself. Like, you don't want to poke the weird ones because what happens ultimately happens.
Which could have been from that. Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
you don't want to poke the bear. But you get her in the thing, and it's like, okay, it's just getting kind of weird. There's a belt being undone in a cooler with a kid and an adult. And you're like, whoa, I hope this isn't going where it's going to go. But then the cousin runs in, and he's like, what are you doing? And then he gets fucking like slammed into a shelf
shit out that
and
kid.
just shaking baby syndrome to him. It's fucking bad. And it's like you shouldn't laugh about. Once again, this is a movie, guys.
Yeah.
This is all cinema. It's not real. Even though it's fucked up, it's not the point.
He really did.
He did shake the shit out of him. I don't know how the little kid actor made it any much further in this movie. And then they get out of that situation, and it's like, all right. Then like there's a really uncomfortable dynamic because this movie did come out in 1983 amongst like everyone. There's like a racial connotation in here. There's like creepy like older people versus young. It's a very uncomfortable feeling movie sometimes, and you just kind of have to like turn off your 2023 mindset.
Yeah, deal with it.
And it's a movie
Just
from
watch it.
a long time ago.
Just laugh at it.
Laugh. It to an extent.
Be uncomfortable.
Yeah, just be uncomfortable and laugh. But yeah, it's like it's crazy because that ends up being the first kill, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So yeah, okay, so now it's painting the picture of maybe who's going to get got. And you're like, okay, there's only two people that it could probably be if that person's going to be attacked.
And I feel like I know who it was.
Like you legitimately knew who it was, or you thought you knew who it was?
I feel like I legit knew who it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he gets boiled, basically.
Well, no, I think he lives. He doesn't die.
Well, I mean, it's the first attack.
Okay.
I will say that.
Yeah.
But he gets a pot of boiling hot water dumped on him.
Didn't have to happen either.
Didn't. But it was good. It was done well.
I agree.
Minus the constant fucking screaming.
I mean, you're
yeah,
fire.
but I don't need that in the movie. My TV was kind of loud, and I was like, okay, I get it. But it looked. I don't know who the FX makeup was. But
it didn't look good.
It gave me Savini vibes, so I was stoked on it.
It did look
it
very
looked
good.
very good. I mean, blisters and just like burnt skin. It looked crazy cool.
Yeah.
And this is the first one you get. So you hear us say that a lot on the podcast. Like, where do the kills start versus where they end up? Do they keep a consistent basis? I think throughout time, we're kind of finding our own ways to kind of break down shit. And I think it is cool that like you can witness like certain kills. Do they get better? Do they get worse?
Yeah.
So with that being said, how do you feel? After that to the final, like how do you just feel like across the board they did with kills?
They were all good.
They were all very well done,
all
off screen, on screen.
Yeah.
Crazy makeup, crazy non-makeup.
Yeah.
But even when you didn't get like crazy makeup for the kill, you would get crazy makeup for the corpse, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm A-okay with that. Like if you don't want to spend all the time showing like the knife actually go into the skin, but then you show like a mutilated body later, like that's cool.
Like the girl Meg.
That's what's playing in my head.
All you see
just
is
get like
the knife through the wall.
You get
her
the
reaction,
like psycho vibe.
Yeah, then you see it afterwards.
Then
Yeah,
she's
she
just perfectly split down the spine.
Drove that shit right through her.
And then so throughout the movie, you're basically after that boiling pot scene where the shitty head chef guy, like that almost didn't even feel like a kill. You know, like horror kills usually like you feel bad, or you're like, oh no, why did they die? Like these are shitty people that are dying right now. Then there's another bully. He gets got in the boat.
Oh yeah,
which was great.
Yeah.
Once again doesn't show too much. Shows like a little upside down boat rocking action. But then they find the body and it's like, whoa! It had been eaten up by crabs. Snake coming out of the mouth. It looked crazy good. The actor that found him played scared very well.
Yeah.
And it's the acting isn't superb, but the acting isn't horrible. It is very on key to 80s slashers.
Some of the acting is bad when it comes to like the kids.
Yeah, but they're kids. You can only
No
expect a
excuse.
group of kids to act so well.
You're getting paid.
We don't know that for sure. They could have literally been like grandkids of a director. They're like, get out there.
You're getting free labor.
And there weren't rules back then.
What I love about this movie is there's so many iconic scenes from it, and it's so many good quotes from it. So one quote that stuck out to me was from the baseball scene. So they're playing baseball.
You guys remember my rant about unathleticism last week?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
We're the same here.
So when, I guess one of the bully characters tells the cousin Ricky, he says, "Eat shit, Ricky."
Eat shit and die.
Yeah, eat shit, Ricky,
He says,
die.
eat shit and die, yeah.
And what did Ricky say back to him?
He says, eat shit and live. And I was like, damn, that's like when Yo Mama came out. Like,
Yeah.
that's like the greatest comeback you could ever have to that statement right there.
Can you imagine having to eat shit and
Just
still
eat
live
shit and
after
die.
that?
Okay. Well, how about you eat shit and live? It was great. Like
was so good.
That kid was the best part of the movie. That
I agree. Yeah,
that main
he was very good.
boy, his rage, his compassion, his anger towards other campers, like it worked to the plot very well.
It did.
My question is, Felicia Rose or whatever the fuck, this little girl who we've met, way older now,
Yeah.
been in a plethora of horror movies. She's the type that she was typecasted at that age. And that was the highlight of her career. She's been chasing it since.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. Because if you watch this movie, you'll know and I would never be in another movie ever again, nor put my name on this movie. So
I don't think she's even in the sequels.
probably not. But also, I had a question.
Yeah.
When you see this girl, can't think of her name.
Angela
Baker. Got it. Angela Baker.
Is Baker her last name?
Yep.
Okay.
Angela Baker. It's also a Census Fail song. You ever remember that band Census Fail from back in the day?
No,
2004, 2005?
I
Like
don't
super
actually.
pop punk emo
I
music.
don't.
Yeah, no correlation, believe it or not. The song came out in 2004. And it was called Angela Baker something.
But there's no correlation at all.
No.
You sure?
This movie, no.
Wait, the movie came out first.
Yeah, but if you look at the lyrics, there's no correlation.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if there was just an Angela Baker at that guy's high school. This is this Phil Singer
I
high
mean,
school.
it's like
That's
it's a pretty
possible,
common name.
But anyway, so I was these fucking sidetracks. I was wondering, did Millie Bobby Brown watch Sleepaway Camp to find Elle?
It would make sense.
Dude. Because like this whole silent, looking weird, like small female
Great,
type,
just blank stares.
just blank stares, like just being like super outcasted, super weird. Like as soon as Angela Baker was in this movie, I was like, Millie? Like Elle? Like what the shit?
Only weird thing is, as soon as she starts to talk, she talks like just fine.
Normal.
Yeah, it's just
Like
a normal.
completely normal.
Yeah.
So-
I thought, then just fucking talk then. When you get
Why?
here.
Well, I mean, we find out why she's so fucking weird, but like, wouldn't you go out of your way to seem normal if you are that weird?
100% you would.
Like, I would try to come across as fucking normal as possible if I'm hiding the secret that she's hiding.
Yeah. You can't be super weird and expect people to not suspect something.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And of course, in today's world, people are going to be like, well, you shouldn't judge people. Like, we've all been assholes, people. We've all looked at somebody and been like, huh?
Yeah.
You can't say you haven't.
Yeah.
This movie's not for the weak, but it also shows how sensitive we've become as an entire society.
Yeah, you could make this movie now.
No.
I thought you could.
Okay, so that was the thing I was going to ask, because we asked it last week.
Yeah.
I said, can we remake
Yeah.
Slumber Party Massacre? And we were both like, probably.
Yeah.
Can you remake Sleepaway Camp?
Yes.
Yes.
But you can't, I guess, at the very end.
No, you can. You can do everything the same, but instead of it being like a comical, like 80s horror, it would be some fucking woke ass movie about like survival in that situation. It wouldn't be a horror movie. It would be like a fucking superhero coming of age for a certain
No.
dude, I'm
No.
telling you right now.
Not
Think about our conversation we had before
okay.
last week.
Yeah.
It was 30 minutes of solid content that we probably can't do.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a coming of age story. It would just be just the exact same movie, but the reaction they have.
The reaction would be completely different.
Exactly.
I don't think it would be considered a horror movie, is what I'm saying.
Because we're at today.
Because of where we're at today, and that being like a good fucking job for standing up for yourself. You know what? Those people were mean to you.
But
not understanding your situation.
But they didn't know her situation.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. You can't just.
We think it matters, but in today's society, it doesn't fucking matter.
I think it does still.
It doesn't.
You can't just
think
assume,
about it, dude.
Although you should treat everyone the same.
You should be nice to people. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but let's fucking 86 that idea right now.
Okay.
Because there is bullying and the outcome that we have. I'm telling you, in today's world, this movie has a completely different meaning.
I don't think it does. If you so you're at camp, some fucking weird person shows up, doesn't talk, you're gonna treat them the exact same way, like shit. You're gonna bully them.
Yeah, but I'm saying
100%.
The way people would react, like the way
to the ending,
the people watching it. Not the movie. The movie could be shot for shot fucking remake.
Okay.
You could put Millie Bobby Brown in it. You could put fucking all the kids from fucking Stranger Things in this fucking movie.
Okay.
And it would be a completely different vibe because of the society we're in today. It's weird. Because think about it. Like, Elle is weird as fucking Stranger Things, dude.
Yeah, and there's kids that don't fuck with her because she's weird.
Yeah.
They didn't fuck with Max at a certain point because she spoken was kind of like a dick and kind of weird.
Yeah, but she had the core
Also the
group,
80s,
and the people that are watching it are the fans of those people that are weird.
So you
telling
think
me, it's a completely different movie.
More of like a fan
Angela
base.
Baker would have like T-shirts.
Is her last name Baker?
Yeah, dude, I'm almost positive.
Okay. I didn't hear him say
Angela Baker, a shy, traumatized young girl.
I didn't hear him say a last name one time.
It's just because I
you looked it up.
re-upped on the synopsize.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like you guys, if you guys watch this movie, I would like to know everybody's opinion on this because it's not, I don't think it's controversial at all, but I really feel like if everything in this movie stayed the same and it was released with like, I think if it was marketed and released, it's crazy how marketing of a movie can change it completely.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I'm saying, imagine if it was marketed towards that today. This movie is not a horror movie. It's a hoorah movie. It's a you did it. You got over on those old way of thinking fucking assholes.
The only way that works is if you know that
going
in the beginning of the movie.
So this isn't one of the movies where the end of the movie makes everything different.
No. It was just something extra added into it.
It is something extra, all right. It's a little something extra. That's a fact.
It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
It's literally the exact same, which is a little extra at the end.
Just a little extra at the
end. A little Salt Bay at the end. But other than that, it's the exact same movie.
God. Yeah, it's so funny because like if you've gotten to this point in this episode and you're like, what the fuck are they possibly talking about? If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what we're talking about. But dude, something inside of me is telling me that like this in the fucking weird world we're in today, like this would somehow be a pro group of people movie. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but
as long as they keep all the same dialogue and the same quotes in, we're good. Another one that pops into mind is Judy, chick with the longest ponytail on earth, or the longest side ponytail.
The side ponytail, yeah.
When she is digging off in Angela's ass.
Yeah.
And she says she's a carpenter's dream. She's flat as a board and in need of a screw. So good.
It's such a good insult.
It is a good insult.
You're just flat as a board and in need of a screw. Then you do also have some like cheating in there, I guess. Because,
Well,
I don't know how
not really.
Not really. She turned him down.
Yeah, they're not dating.
Yeah, they're not dating, and plus she turned him down.
Yeah, and Judy is,
she's a little came out all bikinied.
Yeah, she's out there doing her thing. living her teenage life. Which,
making out with boys in the woods.
all of them, even the.
Did you ever play Capture the Flag as a kid? That shit
No.
looked fun.
It did look.
Well, no.
It looked
the
like-
idea looked fun, but as soon as the next scene happened and they're all just like
Yeah,
in the
like,
middle of
what
the
the
fucking
fuck
yard,
is this?
I'm like, where's the strategy here? Like, the only strategy that happens is our favorite character and the girl, the main girl character.
Yeah.
Because he's like, ooh, we're gonna flank them. I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea. Then you catch them making out in the
Yeah.
woods, and then she runs away quietly, like 11. It's like the doe eyes too. Like, she just reminded me so much of Millie Bobby Brown's portrayal.
Yeah,
of
she just
11.
had. I know for some scenes they probably used the same scene of her just staring blank over and over and over again.
Oh, I didn't even fucking think of that. Yeah.
But
Just
I mean, it was very convincing to me.
aimlessly staring.
Yeah, like, dude, are you gonna fucking talk or no?
Yeah. How do you feel about the bumblebee pooping scene?
The what?
When the guy's taking a shit and gets attacked by the bumblebees? Do you think he would have died? Like,
No.
that bad?
No.
So she slides a pole through the doors of the stall, and he's dropping a dooski because he lets it be known. He's like, are you coming? He's like, I got to take a mean shit first. Grabs a magazine and heads in there.
Yeah.
And then she puts the pole through the door, cuts open the window, and then drops a very average-sized beehive
Yeah.
in there. And then he can't escape until he dies. I didn't know if that was a good kill in your book or not. Obviously, you barely even remember
Yeah.
it. So, all right.
Feeling it.
So, what was your favorite kill? Before we get to the crazy part.
Favorite kill? I have two.
No, it's a favorite kill.
All right.
Pick one of them and let me know your second one after.
All right. Favorite kill would probably be. I would say Meg in the shower.
Yeah.
Favorite kill.
All right.
The second one would be the old dude getting the arrow through the throat.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That one. Once again, it looked very Savini.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did this movie. or
It
not,
gave
but
me real like Friday
Friday the 13th.
vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Like, honestly, the Kevin Bacon scene.
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
Yeah.
Which is cool because it means it was that iconic.
Which I feel it was
when it came out.
only
that
3
they
years
would
after.
use something
Yeah.
so similar.
Yeah.
Not that far after.
Yeah. What about you?
I say favorite kill is you know what? I'm gonna go with the owner in the era.
Okay.
I thought that was cool. It was very well done, and you see it the whole time. It's
Yeah.
very
That's
crystal
what I liked
clear.
about it.
Like, it's not one of those off screen. Then you find the body scenes. So I give that one the upper hand for sure. And then I guess what would be your least?
Least
Kill-wise?
favorite kill would probably be Judy with the
How did she die?
curling iron.
Yeah. So do we know where the curling iron went?
I would assume, based on the pillow being over her head and her hands being up and her being, a little loose with the guys out there.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
That's where the curling iron went?
That's where I think it went.
Damn.
And I think we went to the convention. They mentioned that.
You know what? I think they did. You're
Yeah.
right. Fuck. Yeah. I was like, you're right. Because everything, and then you still hear the scream.
Yeah.
That means it's not going in the face or head.
Yeah. Where else would it go?
Yeah.
It's not going in your chest.
And she opens it, click, click. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that's fucked. And you're right. It does play into that whole, like, she's a hussy. That's how she should go
Yeah.
thing. I forgot that it was even a kill.
I'm sure it's a pretty.
That's your least favorite, though.
Yeah. Also, it's
Okay.
probably well known throughout the movie or the franchise, whatever.
Yeah.
But the way it looked.
Yeah, it wasn't done very
Yeah, I
well.
wasn't feeling
If you know, you know. But
Yeah.
if you don't, it's not a very good kill.
Yeah.
I would honestly go Bumblebee. Like the
Yeah,
shooter scene.
okay,
Like,
yeah.
I thought it was too corny. Like, that guy deserved a way bigger death, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he was a piece of shit.
I agree.
A bully too. So then the most irrelevant kill is probably the one that leads to the biggest plot twist, or as this gentleman so nicely put, the disclosure of the murderer's identity is one of the most shocking climaxes in the history of American cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm so happy I said it that way. If you get to this point in the movie, everything's basically found out. There's a bunch of dead people. There's a cop with a ridiculously fake glued-on mustache.
So his mustache was real at first. You can tell.
When?
Early in the movie.
In the cut scene at the end where it's just him looking shocked when they find Meg's body.
That's a fake mustache.
That's like the quarter machine at Food Lion mustache.
I think he must have shaved during the shooting. They're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Dude, you have another scene. Or they fucked up the film and they're like, shit, Bill, you got to do this last scene. It doesn't make sense without it. Yeah. He's like, I'm already casted in this movie. And they're like, come on, man, just throw this on real quick.
Throw this tape on your face.
It's shiny. It doesn't even look like hair. It's just like he put it on backward. Like they glued it on with the sticky side out. It was crazy looking.
It looks terrible, yeah.
So you get this part where it's like everything's going down. Like, oh, fuck, somebody's the killer. They all think it's the one boy, but then you find out it's not. And then,
do we find out it's not him?
You don't find out it's not him.
Because in the scene where Judy gets killed, it looks like him.
They're setting it up to be him because he goes to the thing and he's like, "Oh, my stomach was upset."
Yeah, because when they
coming here now to get a snack.
When they show who's in the doorway, it's him.
Yeah,
Because the lighting is so shitty, you see his face. But then the very next scene is darker all of a sudden.
Yeah,
what's the mystery on it? You never know.
You never know. In these early '80s slashers, what's going on? Then she invites her boyfriend to the lake finally. And he's like, damn right, I'm going to go. Then all the crazy shit starts going down. And then they hear a scream, I think.
They hear singing.
Singing. That's it. And then, all right, how do we paint this picture? There is.
Well, she's sitting there.
There's somebody sitting there.
Holding his head.
Holding what looks like a body at that time. Not just a head.
Yeah, it's so dark. I couldn't tell.
He was kind of naked over this.
Well, it just it zooms in on the face.
Zooms in on the face.
Like he's like sleeping.
I don't understand this next part. Not even the part. Just like, all right, so the killer stands up and starts like breathing heavily naked.
I don't know what's happening with the mouth. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Never happened in this entire movie. And you find out that Angela Baker is a little boy.
Yeah.
But you know it for sure. There is somehow a girl's head on a naked boy's body.
That is correct.
Covered in blood, breathing weirdly.
Like a fucking
with the
monster.
Mouth open, just sitting there, standing there. And they leave nothing to the imagination for this scene. I don't know how legally they got away with this scene. Maybe it was all prosthetics, I'm guessing. They built an entire boy for her to wear.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Does it make you feel a little like you might be on a list after watching it? Absolutely. It does. It's just a little boy standing there naked with a girl's head. And then it flashes back and it explains that the aunt wanted a little boy and the girl survived the boating accident. So they made the boy survived the boating accident, and she had always wanted a girl.
So she named her Angela because remind her of an angel.
And then she also calls it by his name, and then it looks up and acknowledges it. So maybe that's why he was so quiet the whole time, because nobody was calling him the proper name.
What was his name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
John. Billy. I don't fucking know.
Andy.
Yeah, Andy's good. So that's the movie.
That is the movie, yeah.
That is the movie. Also, do you remember the random gay flashback we had with the dad?
Yeah, so now that makes sense. The fact that that's not his or her mom, that's her aunt.
We knew it was the aunt.
Yeah, but it makes sense to why the mom was never mentioned and the way he reacted when he got killed out in the boat.
Yeah, okay.
It was the two of them. Yeah,
it was the two of them.
Yeah.
The doctor's coming. You need to get out of the water.
And the fact that they were like...
Why was that? Was that flashback needed?
No.
Do you remember what happened to cause it? What was Angela Baker? Angela Baker was doing something that caused her to flash back to that. And I cannot remember what it was.
I think her and the dude were about to make out, or they were making out.
Oh, it was when they were making... Yeah, you're right. It was when they were making out at the lake, and that's when she turned him down.
Yeah.
She realized
I guess it would also be two dudes.
It's two dudes.
Damn.
Deep. Cracking the code here at the J Squared Horror Podcast. Look at us.
Nice.
Look at us. Never thought we'd be here, but here we are.
Me neither.
All right, buddy. That's the movie, ladies and gentlemen. If you watch it, you watch it. Oh, my gosh. On a scale from 1 to 10, what do you rate Sleepaway Camp from 1983?
On a scale from 1 to 10, Sleepaway Camp is an 8. I really enjoyed this movie. I did. I know you guys are going to say it's too high, that my ratings aren't very good. But you know what?
What the fuck did he just say?
But you know what, guys? It's good. All right? Okay? Just watch it. All right?
I'm not saying don't watch it.
I'm saying watch it and put your own rating. If you don't,
you know what?
If you don't think it's an 8, put your own.
I'm saying watch it too.
And if you don't put a rating, I'm going to assume you all think it's an 8.
Fair enough. All right. But I'm going to tell you right now that I do fucking not think it's an 8.
What do you think it is?
On a scale from 1 to 10,
Okay.
this movie comes in at a 5.4. It is perfectly in the middle. It is not horrible. It is not great. It belongs in the middle with so many other movies.
You got an iconic ending. You got so many quotable lines. And it's a 5.4? You said 5.4, right?
I did.
Okay. 5.4? All right.
I mean, if gun to my head, you might get a 6 out of me.
Okay.
But yeah, my gut's telling me 5.4, dude. Yeah, I'll stick to it. Like Jake said, you can't judge his rating unless you rate it yourself.
Yeah, so watch it.
Watch the
And
movie.
rate it.
Watch our episode.
If you already
let us
seen
know
it,
what you think.
Just rate it.
Yeah, rate it. Comment.
Yeah. That would be the comment for this episode. Your rating.
Yeah, comment your rating on anything. So we're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. You can also go to www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com and you can rate and comment and talk to us there. We would like a rating of this movie from all of you fans. That would be awesome.
On a scale from 1 to 10.
Sleepaway Camp from 1983.
Yeah.
Scale it 1 to 10. You have to watch the movie and the episode. Our episode. Obviously, to get to this point. I might do some fancy magic to make it happen. But I you know what? I did like this movie, man. It was fine, but I just can't give it as high as you. Also, you have slightly more of an obsession with these kinds of movies.
I got
so
a
I'm
soft
not
spot
even
for
that.
especially 80s camp shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised.
From the jump, it's a 6. Automatically.
I'll give it a 6 just for benefit of the doubt. Just to cover my ass. To you still wanting to be my friend and to do a podcast with me. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was my idea, believe it or not.
I know.
I did pick this one again. Another older one. I just have the most fun talking about these, and I think we bring I honestly feel like on movies where we talk about 80s slashers, there is no other content out there like this. I would put anything on that fact that there is nothing like me and you sitting here talking about 80s horror slashers.
It reminds me of The Mutilator.
Like, we did that episode 4.
I know.
4.
Yeah.
We're now creeping up on 80, I do believe.
Yeah, we are.
We're definitely in the 70s of episodes.
Yeah.
And it's never not been fun talking about a movie like this.
I agree.
It's kind of, originally when we started talking about podcasting, we were kind of just going to be an 80s slasher
Sure.
horror
Yeah,
podcast.
you were, yeah.
To like bring awareness of like movies that a lot of you guys haven't seen, or if you have, you haven't seen it in a very long
Yeah,
time.
movies you've forgotten about.
And that's the fun thing about our dynamic is he comes at it from seeing it 15 years ago, probably, to where I just watched it for the first time. So we are you guys. We are our fan base. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about our podcast. That's conceited as fuck to say, but I do feel like that's how we're so different, is that we're both not the exact same people sitting here being like, fucking 80 slashers, 8.5.
Love them.
Like, yes, I love them. I watch them. They're fun. They're fucking amazing. They're uncomfy at times.
And plus, where else are you going to get this Jurassic Park content from?
I mean, that, and then I think there's a bunch of good parts of this episode. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
I did too.
Any idea what we're doing next week?
I'd say Jurassic Park, but probably not.
No, because you went on a rampage on the Jaws episode about it not being horror.
Yeah, it's not fucking horror, but it is the greatest movie of all time.
No, not of all time. Shaun of the Dead is the greatest movie of all time.
Nah, I disagree.
It is.
So, I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You guys are used to that. All right, let's go through the thank yous. Thank you to all of our main supporters. Jeff Balance, who does our design work. Lucky Riggs, who does our intro and our outro music. Trademark Printing, who does our printing needs. I would like to also shout out Jake for being the world's greatest co-host in the world.
Thank you.
In the universe. He is the greatest horror podcast host, co-host. Ooh.
I mean, I can host it if you want.
You're just bringing a lot of fun to the episodes, man. I appreciate you as always. Big shout out to you guys that listen to us every single week. We know you're out there. Comment along. If you know anybody that would be interested, share it, man. Get us out there. Get the algorithm going in our favor. This is the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name's Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week. And remember, it's hip to be squared.